Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're doing the Colourpop collaboration with Raw Beauty Kristi. You guys, if you guys can't tell, I'm super happy about this collaboration because when I first saw this one on, I saw it on her channel because I'm subscribed to her for a long time. And then I saw it on Instagram trend and I was like, oh my god, I just saw those colors and I went ballistic because it looked like such a beautiful collection palette in general. I could not believe the tones that she picked in here. It was crazy. So if this is your first time to my channel, hi, my name is Sarah. I do palette reviews, sometimes collection reviews, depending on if I like anything from that collection. I usually just do whatever I gravitate towards. I sometimes don't buy the entire collection and just go for what I'm going to use the most, right? If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. You would help me out a whole lot. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back, you guys. So this is the palette right here. You guys know I always swatch the palettes towards the end. I just take my time talking about it a little bit. So it is called At Forest Sight Raw Beauty Kristi X Colourpop. The design is super freaking beautiful, right? The original box is pretty much the same design, and in the back the same thing. It's got the little names in there. It's got all the little names of every single shadow, Colourpop, cruelty free. And then when you open her up, she doesn't have a mirror, obviously, but I still love this whole... The only thing that threw me off from here is that, you know, in order to create the forest, they have these little random little black specks. And I kept trying to wipe the specks away, thinking it was like fallout from a shadow. And I was like, this is part of the ding. But look at this design. Look how cute it is. And these are the tones. I love these tones, honestly. I cannot stop smiling from these tones. The way she picked them when I first saw them, and then when I had them in person, I was like, oh my gosh, she did such a good job. Especially when if you're first starting out color, I think this is a great palette to start with because it has darker tones. I don't think when you first are starting color, you can't just jump from like straight up bright neon colors, right? Because it sort of like traumatizes you. You're like doubting yourself, and you shouldn't doubt yourself. You know, anybody can use color in their eyes. It doesn't really matter. You just have to want to try it out, right? And I think these ones have such beautiful darker tones that are workable tones, right? These are good for like everyday looks. Like I'm wearing a green shirt, right? An olive green shirt, and obviously I could be able to create a look using those tones from the palette. And if I was wearing a teal shirt or something, I could use that blue. You know, Let It Rain is a very unique color. It looks black and dark brown, and at the same time it has all these little pink burgundy tone micro glitters for some reason. I don't know, it still looks good. And then West Coast, look at, you guys know I love my shimmers. Like I'm a huge shimmer person. So let me start first with the Super Shock shadows because there are 4 of them. They come like this in this little packaging. I took them out of the packaging. Let me tell you guys, the only thing I hate about Super Shocks is their packaging. And the reason why is because I find it pretty much impossible to take them out of the packaging without using something like a knife to get underneath here. Right now, I'm able to open it and close it just fine. But earlier, when I was trying to get out the one that I used as my inner corner highlight, I couldn't get it out. I got so frustrated, I ripped the damn package off. I was like, you know, because it's just, I don't know, it's just so frustrating the way they package these things. They make it nearly impossible. Now the design of it is so pretty. She has all these mushrooms. It's got a tree going up here, little mushrooms, all of it throughout. I mean, it's such a shame. I know a lot of people keep this packaging, but I don't really keep the packaging for the Super Shock shadows. I keep them for the palettes, but everything else I throw away. I don't keep them. So we have Mycelium, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Olympic. You have Campfire, and then you have Like a Moss is my inner corner highlight right there. So I'm going to start with the 2 obvious ones that look so similar to each other. Each of the top of the Super Shock shadows have the Raw Beauty Kristi times Colourpop, and it has little, it looks like a mushroom, but honestly, the first time I saw it, I'm not going to lie, I thought it looked like a penis. It sounds nasty, but I'm saying that that's what it looked like to me. Maybe they were holding it up the wrong way. Like they were probably holding it up like this. That's when I saw it on camera and I was like, that doesn't look like a mushroom. Now that I see it in person, it does. It looks like a mushroom, okay? Just don't take my word for it. So I just thought, honestly, these look so similar to each other, you guys. Look at them. So this is Mycelium right here, and this one is called Olympic. And I just think that Mycelium right here is just more brown tone to it, and this one has more of a silverish champagne tone. But I'm going to swatch Mycelium first. This is the one that I said that's champagne with a brown, it has this brown undertone to it for some reason. You already know Super Shocks need more than one swatch in order to stand out from each other. So it's a very champagne pink brown, right? It's very, very pretty still. I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I'm just saying that it reminded me so much of this one because they're not that far off. Maybe like 2 tones difference. And I was like, ah, for real? So next I'm going to swatch Olympic. And like I said, Olympic is just more of a silver champagne tone almost. This one's very pretty still though. I'm going to swatch it twice because you guys already know Super Shocks just need them. They need to be built up. Even my inner corner highlight, the Like a Moss one, I had to apply at least 2-3 times. So you guys see there's like a subtle difference. There's obviously a difference between them. One is more brown tone, right? Rosy tone. And the other one's more of like a silvery white tone. But still, when you have them in the packaging, you're like, wow, they don't look that far off from each other. I think when I first saw the collection, one of the ones that so stood out to me was this one, Campfire. Like if you were going to get anything from this collection, Campfire would be the way to go. Because honestly, if you were to ask me about these two already, right here, those are not tones that stand out to me. They're not tones that we haven't seen from a previous Colourpop collection. But this, I was like, wow, you're unique. Campfire is so pretty. It looks like this burnt orange bronze shimmer with glitter. That's what it looks like. That's one. And this is another. And it slides like butter. Like, oh, look at her. Tell me you wouldn't use that. Isn't that such a gorgeous fall orangey tone color? Like, I just want to rub her on my face. And I didn't even get to use that one today. And then last you have this one right here, which is Like a Moss. That's the one I use as my inner corner highlight. Let me tell you, this one's like butter too. I had to apply it more than once. It's very, very pretty. It's got this green, brown and gold duochromeness to it. Like the shift is crazy between that. Like in the light it reflects differently, so sometimes you'll see it more gold, sometimes you'll make it makes it look more green, and in other times it looks more brown tone. But still, you see those little gold reflex in there that hits the lights when you like move, and it looks so pretty, so cool in person. Next I want to do the gel liners. We do have 3 of them. One of them is called Spare Time. That's the green that I used in my waterline today. That's it right there. And then you have Marigold, and this is that yellow one, I believe. I wanted to use the yellow one today, honestly, because I thought the yellow one just stood out more than the other 2. So this is the Marigold one, and then you have the Woodsy one, which is the brown color. I just think the yellow and the brown one are not something that, I mean, the yellow one is something unique because compared to my Sub-Zero one that I got from the Sunflower collection, that one is more of a yellow metallic, and this is more like a matte yellow, right? So I'm going to start with this one, and you kind of want to go light because I heard so many YouTubers were having people, they were breaking off. Because it's very creamy and smooth the way it glides, right? But you have to be careful because it will straight break off. So this one's called Marigold. It's right there. It's like a mustard yellow to me. That's what it looks like to me. And like I said, it glided on smooth. Very, very pretty. Next, we're going to do the brown one. And the brown one is called Woodsy. It's just a dark matte brown. Honestly, that's what it is. If you're going to ask me what it is, that's what it is. It's a dark matte brown. And that's what it looks like. Ugh, that's a dark matte brown. That's no joke. That's a very pretty brown though. And then last you have a Spare Time. Time as in time the the herb. That's what it spelled it like, spare time. This is such a beautiful dark emerald green. And I use that for my waterline. It's like an emerald green, like, you know, teal green. Very, very pretty. Next, I'm going to do both of the Lux Glosses, you guys. Obviously, right now on my lips, I have the dark brown lip liner from the e.l.f. collection from their Retro Paradise. And I added Sigma Beauty's lip gloss from Dazzling from their Untamed collection on top. So that's what you see on my lips on right now before, you know, I take it off and put something else on. So let me take this off and then we'll do both of these. Okay, so first we're going to start with Glacier because I believe the other one is more of like a rosy tone. Again, they have all kinds of very beautiful woodsy mushrooms everywhere. When you take her out, it says Raw Beauty Kristi times Colourpop. It is a very clear gloss with all these iridescent shimmers throughout. Same doe-foot applicator, you guys. I'm going to apply it down here as an arm swatch first before we put it on a lip. So you can't really see a whole lot of pigment, and I don't think you're going to see anything on my lips, but let's try this. So it does have this sheer silvery thing going on. It's very, very pretty in person. Honestly, with a dark brown lip liner like the one I had on earlier, this is perfect. I love these types. It does smell sweet, just like all the other lip glosses, like the other Lux glosses. If you own a lip gloss, they'd all smell the same. They smell like sweet. Sort of like this cotton candy smell to me. I love their formula. It's never sticky. It's always like just smooth. I can't feel the micro glitters, which I love. I love that I don't like feeling them. I've never liked it. So let me take this off and we'll swatch the next one. Next, we're going to do Wildfire. Same type of packaging. It is like this pale rose tone gloss with just color in it. I do see a little bit of this micro glitters throughout it. It looks very fine. Not compared to the one we just tried. It looks very, very fine glittered. So it does have this little sheer tint of rose to it. You can't see it a whole lot because my lips are pigmented, but I think with I like a lip liner, it's perfectly fine. Put on a berry lip liner, put on a dark brown lip liner. I think this will be perfect. On someone lighter tone, I think this would just fit you better because you would obviously be able to see the tone, the actual color of it. For me, you can barely tell it's even there, right? And same thing, very, very smooth. It's like a little bit of sticky, but not like overwhelmingly sticky. If you, like I said, if you've already owned one of these, then you know what the formula should feel like. And then let me give you guys a quick arm swatch because I forgot to do that. I already went and took the other stuff off, and then I was like, oh, I didn't give them an arm swatch. So obviously you can see it a lot better on my arm, like I said. It looks like this pale rose gold rose tone lip gloss. Now I'm going to start with the swatches, you guys. I'm going to start right here. We're just going to go clear across till we get to the end of each row, right? The first one is called Puffball, and it is like this brown khaki matte color. That's one swatch. This is another swatch right here. Next you have Chanterelle, and this one is just this yellow mustard matte color. Very, very pretty. I'm going to give you guys two swatches. There's a little bit of fallout with the, just by me digging my finger in there. That's two swatches. Very, very pretty orangey, like mustard yellow, right? And then you have Rainier, and Rainier's another matte. She gave us mostly matte, literally, but I'm not bothered by that. This is a burnt orange red tone. That's one swatch. You don't need anything else after that. Old Growth is just this very pale rose. It's almost like a mauve peach tone rose, sort of. It is a matte. That's one. This is two swatches. I honestly thought, just by looking at her, I thought it wouldn't work for me, for my skin tone. And now that I'm swatching it, it would totally work. In the next row, you have Evergreen, and that is the second shade you guys see on my eye right here. It is a shimmer. It's like pretty much one of two shimmers in here. It's very, very pretty. It's like brown, and then it's got these little specks of gold and green in there, sort of making it look like a dual chrome, but it's very, very pretty in person. That swatch doesn't give it justice how it looks in person. Then you have West Coast. You guys already know I love my golds, especially when it comes to shimmers, like blinding shimmers. Like, oh God, look at this. Look how beautiful that one is. Oh God. Then you have Homegrown, a dark. This one looks like a maroon brown. Yep. It does feel like kind of dry and somewhat patchy, but I think that just might be the arm swatch. I'm going to do another swatch right here. So it doesn't look like you might have a problem. I'm just saying just in case. Amanita, I hope I'm saying that right. This is just a dark burgundy matte. And I'm not sure. That one comes out kind of patchy, so that's one. This is two. But look at that richness in color. Like, that one does have an eye safety warning, I'm assuming, because of the fact the dyes that were used. So just in case you have a allergic reaction. In the next row we have Fiddlehead, and that is the dark olivey green that I used as my transition shade. Look how beautiful that green is. Emerald City is a dark green matte. I'm going to give you guys two swatches. So that's one. And this is two. Pacific Northwest, which is a PNW. This is a dark teal blue matte. Oh God, look at that pigmentation. But there's quite a bit of fallout. Like, just from swatching, I'm telling you guys, it kicks up. Let It Rain is the final color in here. And like I said, Let It Rain reminds me of like this dark espresso brown black, and it has all these clear micro glitters that are like light gold in it. So those are all the tones in this palette. Hopefully you guys like it. I honestly do recommend it because I love the look that I created today, and I like the options it gives you to create so many more, just not just one type. It's a lot of color. I love color. One thing before I go, you guys, I want to add that the surface to this palette I'm in love with, because finally they gave me a glossy top to this. This entire part right here is a glossy surface. Very easy for cleanup, so I can literally just grab like a little wipe and stuff and just go like this around to keep the shadows in their place, because I'm a Virgo and I'm very OCD about that. I don't like it when they give me those satin filling ones, like how the actual palette feels. That's the basic material they'll put on top of their Stone Cold Fox. And when you do the little swatches, it stains. It stains everything on the surface. And I have to go back with like a makeup wipe, and my anal butt has to just like... I'm just like that. I don't know why. It looks all messy, and when something looks all messy, I'm like, oh, I gotta clean it. I gotta clean it. So that's pretty much it, you guys. If you guys want to see how I created this look today, just stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so for my first color, I went in with the color Fiddlehead right here. It is very olivey green, and that's the one that I use for my transition shade. So for my next color, I went in with the color Evergreen right here. It is like a, it's like an olivey green shimmer too. It's like a darker, more khaki shimmer to it, sort of. I don't know, it's hard to explain because it does have this olive green deeper set tone, but at the same time it has this sort of like light khaki sheerness to it. It's so pretty in person though. The way it came out of my eye, you can just tell, look, it's just very pretty. So I patted that on my entire eyelid, just right here with my finger. So for the next color that I used, I went in with Emerald City right here, and it is a dark green matte. I basically just took it and patted it right here in this corner, down here, and then a little bit across my eye, just like how you see it right here. So just in this area right here, a little bit across, and then down here. So that is what I'm going to do. So for the next color that I used, you guys, I used Amanita right here, and it is like this very burgundy matte and very toned like burgundy, and I applied it all down here, basically incorporating it with that green that you already see from Emerald City, and that is what I did. So for my inner corner highlight, you guys, I added one of the Super Shock shadows. This one is called Like a Moss. And when you open it up, it looks like this just chartreuse green shimmer. Very, very pretty. I had to apply it more than once, but you know, that's basic Super Shock. They always do that. So it turned out really, really pretty. I love this color. Like on its own. Even as not, you don't have to do an inner corner highlight. You can put this as an overall color. This is an awesome color to use. So you already know I'm going to apply it with my finger. So that's pretty much it for the eye, you guys. I did use one of the spare Thyme. This is the green one for my waterline. So let me just go do that. And then I'm going to put mascara, and I'll be right back to give you guys a close-up. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished eye look today. Hopefully you guys like it. I really love this palette. This palette is so awesome. It's got a bunch of like looks that you can create. I especially appreciate the Thyme, you know, like the browns that she put in there, the greens, because I love greens. And then, of course, she has her orangey tones. Like, she does such an awesome job with this palette. So let me back you guys out and give you guys my final thoughts on this palette. Okay, you guys, so I'm back. I love this palette. It's super cute. I love the colors that she picked. She picked such like basic, you know, tones that you could work with, and you can make several types of look with, you know. Obviously, if you're a neutral person, you still have those little muted ones right here on top. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not like huge bold colors. That's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, the last row is like my favorite, and then the second row, I love these two shimmers, even though it's only 2 shimmers, and then she gave you the option of like buying the Super Shock shadows, which is basically another shimmer, right? I love these. These are so cute, the tones. I think the only thing that really upset me with, like, well, not upset me, but that bummed me out with the Super Shocks is it Olympic and Mycelium, I think it's called Mycelium. This one and that one are not that far apart from each other. They're like pretty close to the tones in them. I don't know. That's the way I look at it, because I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, they both look like they're sort of champagne toned. And maybe one has more of a brown to it, and the other one has more of like this, you know, champagne tone to it. I don't know. That's the only thing that tripped me out. They're both equally pretty. It's just they're really not that different from each other. They look very similar. So, apart from that, I bought the entire collection, you guys. So I have all the Super Shocks. I have all the gel liners, and we're going to be doing all that in the beginning of the video like we always do. You know, I love these tones. I love the whole thing. Just like, I wanted to use this one so bad today. I didn't get to use it. PNW, Pacific Northwest. It is an awesome palette. So if you guys can get it, get it. I think they're going to restock. They're going to restock sometime next month, I believe. Something like that they were saying. I don't know. I'd have to check the Instagram. But they did announce that they were going to be restocking. Just in case you didn't get to snag anything up. Because I think they still have the palette available, maybe. I'm not sure. So I'm going to let you guys go. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.